It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
With us today is our country's leading economist to find out what's going on in our country this week, financial-wise, and our number one show on Saturday mornings from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Larry Kudlow, what's going on?
Well, it's difficult. I think the economy is really at a tipping point right now. And I think that's part of the volatility you're seeing in the stock market. Stocks, by the way, are down 3% from last Wednesday when we started the correction. They came back from the horrible Monday, which was probably Japanese-based. But we have problems at home. You've got a job slowdown, you got unemployment going up, manufacturing is down, housing is down, paychecks are still shrinking. A lot of people think, middle-income people are already in a recession. I don't think we're in a recession. As I've said the last few weeks, I think we may be at the front end of a recession because of all these softness. But I really think you're at a tipping point. We'll get a lot of numbers next week. I think we'll get retail sales, we'll get consumer prices, we'll get manufacturing and production so we can take a look at it. But I think it's very tricky. I think there's a lot of uncertainty out there. I also want to say, it's like the whole world is over-leveraged right now. That was part of this yen carry trade debacle that started in Japan Sunday night and then spread to us on Monday. But everybody's over-leveraged. The federal government's over-leveraged. Consumers are over-leveraged. The Magnificent Seven tech companies are over-leveraged. So there's a lot of issues. Very tricky. It's not a fabulous story.
You mean that Warren Buffett wasn't happy with Apple at 70 times sales?
Yeah, well, there you go. You're right. I mean, that's right. He's got his money in cash or cash equivalents, and he's a pretty savvy guy. I guess no one's always right or wrong, but I think Mr. Buffett's a very savvy guy. We're just going to have to work through this. There's a lot of talk about emergency Fed rate cuts. I don't expect that. I don't think that's even a good idea. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather we cut tax rates than the Fed start cutting interest rates. Let the market cut rates. I don't want the central bank to start with money.
Trump tax cut expires next year.
Yeah. And I think he did very well in his press conference yesterday talking about how he's the low tax guy and Kamala Harris is the high tax person. I don't know if anyone is old enough to remember Walter Mondale, who ran on tax hikes in 1984.
He only lost 49 states.
I know. And the great thing is he was from Minnesota. So who else is from Minnesota? Well, Kamala Harris's running mate is from Minnesota, another progressive Democrat who's talking about raising taxes. You don't want to raise taxes now. You want to be cutting taxes. That would really help middle-income people. It would also help small businesses. So it's tricky. It's very, very tricky. We are at a tipping point of sorts.
I played the song before. We're on the eve of destruction. And Larry, that song is 60 years old.
Oh, my God.
That means nothing has changed in 60 years.
Yes. Well, I'm a child of the 50s myself, so there you have it.
I'm there next to you.
I know you are. I think some other panelists are, too, actually. They may not want to fess up.
I won't fess up.
I have nothing to say.
The youngest one here is Rita.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm very proud of that. Thank you.
Well, Larry, we'll be listening to you tomorrow between 10 and 1. And what are you going to be talking about?
Lots and lots on the economy. Lots and lots on the economy and the markets. We'll have some politics in between.
So all you listeners out there, and we go a long way, 173 countries and 50 states. If you want to decide over the weekend which way you're going to be investing your money, well, listen to Larry Kudlow. Larry, have a great weekend, and I'll be listening tomorrow.
Thanks, John. Thanks, everybody.